wind howls, a dark silhouette of a man against a swirling sky. Quick flashes of paint strokes like crime scene photos. June 1889. A man stares out the window of an asylum long after midnight. He hasn't slept in days. He's hearing voices again, and outside, the sky looks like it's moving. What he sees tonight will become the most famous night sky in the history of art. But here's the thing, Starry Night wasn't born from inspiration. It was born from a breakdown, and the truth behind this painting is darker than most people ever imagine. This is the real story, the untold canvas. When Vincent van Gogh checked himself into the St. Paul Asylum in southern France, the staff already knew his reputation. Violent seizures, sudden rages, hallucinations, the infamous night he cut off his own ear, or at least part of it. He arrived with paintbrushes, a stack of canvases, and a medical file thick enough to fill a desk drawer. The asylum was a fortress. Iron bars on the windows, doors that locked from the outside, screams echoing down the hallways at night. And yet, in this place of absolute darkness, Van Gogh would paint a sky filled with impossible light. But before he could do that, his mind would take him somewhere terrifying. In the weeks leading up to Starry Night, Vincent suffered what doctors described as a major attack. No one knows exactly what triggered it. Some say epilepsy, some say bipolar disorder, some say absinthe poisoning. Some blame starvation. Vincent forgot to eat. But one thing is certain, for days, Vincent drifted in and out of consciousness. He wrote letters full of paranoia, fear, and dread. He begged his brother Theo to visit him, then told him not to come. He was afraid he would hurt someone, or himself. Then, on a warm June night, something in Vincent snapped back into place. He walked to his window, he looked out, and the world looked wrong. The sky wasn't calm. It was alive, spiraling, moving, breathing. He saw patterns no one else saw, motion no one else could perceive. Doctors called it hallucination. Vincent called it truth. Now here's the mystery. The view outside Vincent's window, it didn't look like Starry Night at all. The angle was wrong, the village wasn't visible, and the cypress tree, that huge ominous black flame in the painting, didn't exist outside his room. Everything in Starry Night was rearranged, which means Vincent wasn't painting what he saw. He was painting what he felt. The swirling sky, that was the chaos inside his mind. The violent cypress rising from the earth like a dagger, that was his fear. Dark, overwhelming, uncontainable. The quiet village below, that was the life he wanted, but couldn't have. Starry Night wasn't a landscape. It was a confession, and Vincent knew it. Once he started, he couldn't stop. Witnesses said Vincent painted with a kind of desperation, as if the sky itself were fading and he had seconds to capture it. He worked in bursts, hours without blinking, then sudden collapses, long stretches staring at nothing. The asylum staff kept a close eye on him. They were terrified he'd relapse, or snap, or hurt himself again. At one point, a patient stole his brushes. Vincent spiraled. The staff found him trembling in a corner, whispering to himself. But he always returned to the canvas, and with each stroke, the sky grew stronger, more violent, more divine, more dangerous. It was beauty born from madness, and even he wasn't sure which side would win. When Vincent finished Starry Night, he didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. He didn't believe he had created a masterpiece. In a letter to his brother, he wrote, "This does not depict reality, but the terrible passions of my mind." He saw it as a failure, a warning, a symptom, proof that his mind was slipping away. He painted more works afterwards, dozens, but he never revisited that night sky again. A month later, he told Theo he was afraid of himself. 2 months later, he checked out of the asylum, and 2 months after that, Vincent van Gogh was dead. A gunshot wound to the stomach, officially ruled self-inflicted, still debated to this day. Today, Starry Night hangs in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Millions come to see it every year. Some stare at the blue swirls, some admire the brushwork, some call it peaceful, but they're wrong. Starry Night is not peaceful. It's a crime scene, a psychological fingerprint, a record of a mind on the edge, a moment when the world broke open, and a man tried desperately to paint his way out. It is, in every sense, the most beautiful breakdown ever put on canvas. Every masterpiece hides a secret. If you want more mysteries like this, subscribe to The Untold Canvas.